Uh, oh, I can't hear myself. That's why. Oh, whoops. Let's fix that playback. For one, this should be going through a different speaker. Oh, whoops. Let's fix that. There it is. Okay, that should be fixed now. Hi, it's me, Poison, and you're watching this. Isn't that great? But hi. So today we are going to be making good on something I said I was going to do at the beginning of this year. I didn't know when it was going to happen because I didn't know when Duet Night would officially release. But when we won the Duet Night art contest, we made a Fina drawing, and I was like, I want to make a better VTuber model for this. Because like we started with a VTuber model base and then posted and stuff like that. I was like, I want to make something like a full outfit, but I wanted to wait until it was closer to release. And I remembered this week about saying that because I was looking at how they updated all like the graphics and particle effects, and it made me excited to see what they do with Fina because they're a summoner. So yeah, we are gonna be making good on that today. We went ahead and did the Vroid step, and today we are gonna be doing a lot with the graphics. And we should be able to finish the graphics portion and be able to go ahead and test it live. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and take us to the live scene after I make sure that all my extra stuff is closed out of that I don't need. Yeah. Let 'em wonder how we got this far. I don't even have to wonder at all. Oh yeah, speaking of how we got this far, thank you so much for the 477 subscribers on YouTube. We are so close to hitting our 500 goal. We are just 23 away. And then we'll be there. Speaking of being close, I forgot to hit the post on the socials. Post. And post. There we go. Now we're doing all of the things that we're supposed to. Let me turn on my mic audio playback for just a moment. Let's see how we sound. Is my mic working appropriately? I think so. At least from what I can tell. I need a better pop filter. Oh wait, let me... One of these got turned up higher. There we go. I have a gain on my mic as well as gain on the audio board. And so I need the gain on the mic to be appropriate so that way my sound and like noise gate stuff works appropriately. But I think that was good. There we go. Okay, let's go live to the live scene. Hi, it's me, but I'm over here. So we went ahead and we did this model. I went ahead and switched my shaders to Poyomi. If you were unaware, Poyomi is the shader like application stuff that I use for my Unity portion. Poyomi has a free version and a paid version. And then this is what this model looks like. If I went ahead and exported this model directly to Wordo, this is what it would look like. It's brighter over here because it's like a in Unity, I make it light dependent, but directly from Vroid, it's not very light dependent. For the most part, it stays lit up. Like you can try to make the shadow more harsh by going through the fabrics, but because I go ahead and program my clothes to be light responsive, I don't really do that step. because I like shine effects and stuff, and that if you add a shine effect onto this, it ends up creating an unholy glowing light that just takes up the entire screen. Uh, I did that one time and I was like, wow, this is brighter than the sun. uh, doo. But yeah, so we are on the shader portion of this. Now we have some normal maps already done. Oh, chat, pull up. There we go. And hello. I hope you're doing good today. We are this by the way, I've said this a few times, but as I'm a small VTuber who oftentimes gets new people coming in, this week is going to be heavy on art because there's pretty much no games I want to really play right now. I'm excited for Duet Night. And there's some games coming up in the future that I'm excited for. So we're kind of just spending this week doing art and getting ready to like have some fun game streams next week. We will probably still do a like 2D art this stream because we do still have the 30-day challenge thing that we're doing. We posted 2 speed paints earlier today because I felt like I didn't have really that great of game clips to post. And we like to post things that we like. But yeah, so one thing to note that's true for my models, but it may not be true for your models. Uh, my models, I shade the clothing with the mind that I'm going to use realistic lighting. That's why sometimes it looks weird in Vtuber, but doesn't look weird in the final product. Uh, if you don't use my type of shading, I would probably keep it on either like one of the other ones. I think realistic's the easiest though because all you need is a normal map for realistic. But some of these others like SDF, you have to draw the shadow maps and stuff, and I don't typically like doing that because that's more individualized. Realistic. And if you don't have the SDF map, it will just default to flat, which is basically what it looks like in Vroid. Yeah. We're gonna use a lot of my preset normal maps that I have. This model's not showing as much skin. If you are unfamiliar with Fina, this is Fina. They are from Duet Night, and they kind of have like these summoner-esque abilities. And we drew them at the beginning of the year. And now we're doing the VTuber version. I wanted to go with a bit of a softer look with the face this time, even though it's definitely aged up, because I don't really like making children because I'm gonna VTuber as them. And it feels weird for me, just personally. It doesn't it doesn't feel like it reflects my personality. Do, 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 do. Okay, I'm gonna first start with applying all the stuff that's gonna be the same, that's like almost on every model the same. So if you control shift, well, like shift click and pick them all, you can set them all to like different shaders, or you can do all of them to cutout. What I do is I first set everything to cutout, go down to render, turn cull off, uh, and then I go back up. And for some of these, like eyebrows, I set to fade, and eye line, I set to fade. And then it's important to turn this up a bit because otherwise you didn't really turn anything on. I don't do too much with it when it comes to the eyes typically. Typically I just do the makeup and call that good enough. Because oftentimes, unless I'm doing like a shimmery makeup, like with glitter or something, there's not too much of a reason for me to add too much more. Okay, so I'm going to start with just going through here, adding the proper normal maps. The normal map that is default on these models is fine. I just prefer mine because I have more detailed on the body, so that it looks a little bit better, but sometimes not noticeably better depending on the outfit. Like this one, you can't really see too much. Okay, and we're just gonna keep on going through here and set all of these. That's correct. I have an eye normal map. So the eye normal map is only important if you're gonna use things like matte cap and cube map. If you're not gonna use that, it's not as important as, say, like the body or the outfit. Unless you're gonna do something very different with your eye normal map. You could make your eye kind of like bulge a bit. Do, do, do. Do. This one, I just kind of make this like an eye socket. I have also started doing this with the back of the eye, turning on cube map, setting it to shine, switch the shine to add, turn this down a bit to smoothness so it's a little bit more like a wet surface and not reflective surface. And then that way, like, there's a shine to the eye when it moves. You can't really see it too well, like, here, but it's one of those things where it's not noticeable unless it is. So, like, there will be moments where I turn my head and the eye just looks really good for a moment. And sometimes those are the things that make a model look complete and more. I'm capitalizing on the fact that these models are 3D and not 2D, so there's elements of the model I can put that aren't normally visible that will act as like just really cool features as you use the model. It's why some of my models, they don't really read that well in a like 2D like flat image, but read really well in GIF format or video format, because my models are made for movement. That's why one of the reasons why I do the detailed skeletons is so that way they can move freely and not worry about clipping. This one is correct. I just need to add this. And for this one, I already set it to fade. I just need to add this. In case you're wondering, if you don't replace the normal map on almost every part of the model, it's just a flat purple square. So it treats everything as flat. Realistic. Boop. Also, I do like to add the cube map to the inside of the mouth for saliva. Add. Not like excessive, because I don't want the mouth to be super shiny, but like a little bit, so that way there's a little bit of gleam. My process is all about doing a bunch of things that may or may not be visible and just assuming it will at some point. We're painting for the back row and also the imagination. Let's see. I think I'm now at a part where I need to start doing my custom normal maps. So there's a few ways for me to do this. We're going to first try the normal map filter that is available in Clip Studio Paint. I don't know if Krita has one, but you can probably download a mod for Krita that will make one for you. Let's see. One of the reasons why I like to do the export, like my models in a single day, is because then I can use these files without having to save them. Because saving these as flat images is so much more storage friendly. I can just keep all the data on one thing. Like if I wanted to like export that. But for this, we're gonna go open. I think this is under Augusta. It is. Fina textures. And I want this one. Open. Filter. Render. Effect. Normal map. I have a feeling I'm gonna want to use a different normal map than this. It's looking like it doesn't read it that well. So what I'm gonna do, I think I still have the picture downloaded. Let me see if I can't find it real fast. Yeah, I do. Okay. File, open, desktop. I can use either of these. I think I'm gonna use this one. Then I'm going to take correction. We want brightness and contrast. I think we're not going to be able to get a good normal map from this image. Which will be fine because what I can do, exit. We can just look up bird feathers and like take a section of a bird. Images. It doesn't even have to be a white bird. It can be any color bird. We just want a feather pattern that is distinct. Where you can like see all the edges. Preferably dove-like. But once again, it does not matter too much. As long as I can see that it would make a good normal map. I do find it funny that a lot of these feather uh oh wait, there might just be a feather normal map. Speaking of which, one of the things that's nice about Poyomi is it does come with a lot of like textures as sample textures. Let's check under fur. I see leopard prints, but not feather. I could also probably use a dragon scale map because I know I've done one of those before. And this is for these back wing things. Because they're gonna look probably fairly messy if I don't put a normal map over them. Let's see. It's definitely a harder normal map to do, so I can see why there's not good references for it. Make sure it's free to use. Because I do try to mostly focus on ones that are free. Looks like we might just have to make it ourselves. Which is a terrible, terrible fate. Oh, nice. This is a fabric print, so this one's fine. Clip Studio. I was about to say, did I just pick the same one? I just, yeah. It wouldn't be the first time that's happened. Yeah, this one's a more, like, easy separated color. I need to plug in my draw pad because I'm going to make some corrections to this image. Before I switch it to normal map, because those are going to be harder to do once it is a normal map. Because it becomes more complicated because you have to draw one side of shadow purple, or one side of it like light blue. Which doesn't seem complicated, but it is when you start like getting to like very dynamic shapes. Okay, so what I want to do here, new layer, is I'm going to add a multiply layer. Take that color and go very far down. I just want to add some shadow to the edges. I'm adding shadows basically where I think the normal map is going to be hard. The normal map filter is going to have a hard time determining the edges of things. So I don't run into the same problem I did with my first normal map. And as a side note, because this is a texture thing that I'm going for the feathers, it does not actually matter that this is not the same shape as what the hair has on it. Okay, and then I'm going to take this blur tool. I want to blur these almost to where I can't see it with my regular eye. So again, this is just so the normal map can tell the edge of some of these. Actually, I could tell that was an issue with my previous one. See? Now I need to combine these. Filter. Effect. Normal. Much better. I'm gonna go for like very soft. And hit OK. File, save. And then Unity. Go back to Fina's materials. And I'm just gonna drag that normal map onto it. And honestly, that normal map filter in Clip Studios does make the whole process a lot easier. It works really good for some things. It does occasionally not work for things that I'm doing, though. Filter. Fix. Okay. Let's do 4. I think that's not exactly what I want to see from it. But let's see if it looks better if I also have this do the same thing. Yeah, that looks better, as long as I have them both. I do typically want to do 2 on the X. Yeah, there we go. Yay! And that's a lot of how, like, custom normal maps are made. I think I'm going to keep me on this side, so I'm going to transform my position. Oh, not that way. There we go. Because I was looking off screen for when I was looking at the model, and yeah. Okay. For this hairband, I think I'm just gonna use this normal map because I kind of want this part to be printed, like that printed fabric aesthetic, not like embroidered. So I want it to almost not be super visible when the fabric is bending. It's more there to add texture to it than it is for like the specific detail of the like what's on it. Okay. And now we could go to hair, but I think we're gonna go to outfit next. Let's see. Do. Texture. I want to make this black. Okay, this is the under outfit part, which I debated just doing this with, because this does actually make a good jacket material. But I'm pretty sure Fina's jacket is like a loose knit jacket situation, or like a crochet jacket. At least that's the vibes it gives. And now I have a knit sweater normal map uh, on my computer somewhere. but I think I'll just download a new one. After all, most normal maps that you find online are just someone took a picture of a fabric really close and then uploaded it. I think this is the pattern it's giving. Okay. So for this one, we go here, Clip Studio. I think Control C. File, open. This one, open. This jacket looks way more messy, like here, than it does on the model. And that's fine, because I do make the textures with the idea that I'm gonna render them in 3D. So I expect it to look a little bit like this. Okay, main thing is that it doesn't have this area down here. It doesn't have the edge fabric there. It has everything in the center area selected, and it does. Okay. If I do it like that, that's gonna be very like loose knit. I think more like this is gonna be what I want. Line these up. Those up. Control C, Control V. Filter, effect, normal map. Turn up the intensity. Hit OK. File. Save as. Augusta. Materials. First layer jacket NM. Yes. I'm gonna take this back to 1 and 1. Fix. I'm gonna make that softer. So we are kind of going for that like winter jacket vibe. And if this is also something where like when you do a normal map like this, if you add cube map, add shine, you can see how that shine also will read that same normal map. And this is also one of the things that lets you have really like multi-dimensional things on your model without increasing the load. It's way more efficient than having extra polygons slash vertices. And I do actually think I might use this, but not as that, but as an ad to kind of give the jacket like a gloss protective layer. And we're gonna hide this in shadow. So we only want the cube map to be active in areas that are touching with light. So like see under here, if I turn this off, you'll have moments where like it glistens right here. If I turn this on, no more glisten under the underarm, but I get to keep it on the top part, which is how I want that kind of shine to function. Okay, that works. Up next, Studio, File, Open. I want to go to Augusta, Textures, looking for this. Because I want to do the jacket all at one time. Now this one, I don't think I have room for any of the like custom as much as I'm going to just add the normal map filter. Not as harsh. Let's hit OK. Control C, Control V. And this is really harsh on the like flat fabric pieces. So I'm gonna go in here and I'm just gonna take a blur tool to it. Also to get rid of like these little bumps. And you could, if you wanted to, do this by hand. Does it take a lot longer? 100%. Does my dyslexia make it really hard to remember pink, blue, blue, pink, blue, pink, blue? Like on the left side, it goes pink on left, blue on right. On the right side, it goes, yeah. Yeah, no, my brain kind of like just gives out when I'm doing the normal map by hand. I've had to do it for a few outfits, but I try to avoid having to do it fully by hand because the left right of it all is just really not dyslexic friendly. I'm gonna take this center color. I kind of want to get rid of that detailing right there. Because I know what I did on the other side, I'm just gonna start with that step over here. The shadow on the edge of it, I want to keep. And the texture in the center of it that like does that little button effect, I also want to keep that. These were made with a flat brush, so I don't have to do anything about them. And this was also done with a detail brush, so I don't have to do anything about that. When I get down here, I do. Okay. File, save as. Let's go to... I save it in the materials section instead of the texture section because when doing the graphics, it actually saves you so much time to be able to just click over and not have to go through two windows. Because if I had to go through two windows for each section, it wouldn't take, you wouldn't think it would take that long, but this, saving it here does shave about like a good 15 minutes off of the like end product. Also, if I want to change things, it makes it a lot easier to access it. Fix. Hello, and thank you for the lurk. We are working on making a knit sweater jacket thing, and I appreciate it. Yeah. We're taking a flat white jacket and adding a knit pattern on it. Ooh, the witch. Yeah, this is my arsenic witch outfit, and the hat is like jello. Because one of the people was like, "Ooh, you should make a witch, but the hat needs to be extra floppy." And I am a sarcastic person, so I made it jello. I knew what they meant. But also it does, I do like just like seeing it jiggle like that. Yeah. I think we're gonna do the same fabric detail that we did up here. One thing that I learned that uh, took me an embarrassing amount of time to figure out I could do is click these three dots over here, copy. If I'm like using something that's supposed to be like either the same fabric or something, and then paste, and then I have it on both. Only reason why I might not do that is I do want these to have a cube map on them. So I think I should actually reserve this for this section because I want these to be like a blue metal because that's what they are on the base model that this is referencing. Yeah, so we're not gonna do that actually. Let's go back to Clip Studio. So that was the normal map for this. Now I'm gonna do what I call like a light map. I'm going to take these these 4 sections of each of these. Just take this magic wand tool. Come back over here. Oh my god. There we go. And just get all of this blue. Doesn't have to be perfectly exact. It just needs to be enough that's going to be noticed from a distance. Control C, Control V. Hide this part. File. Save as. Ball color map. Yes. Back to Unity. I've learned that it's actually way better for me to like add the layering to an outfit using normal maps than it is to just add an extra layer. But sometimes, like for the fact that I want these to be separated from the jacket, I do need to add a new one. But because I was going to need to separate this anyways, I went ahead and made like a hood detail, added some more cuff to the cuff, etc. Let's see. Mask. I am looking for base color map. Add. Fix. Alpha is transparency. Set. And now there's only 3 dots on that. Replace. Gold. It's on red right now. I want it to be on alpha and set this to blue. And make it fairly emissive. Yeah, like that. So now those have a metal blue shine to them. And I'll add a different thing for the fabric. I think we're going to bounce around here a little bit. And next part I'm going to work on is this under top, because I know exactly what I need to do with it. Actually, is this the boots? It is. This is only going to get like a normal map and a color map for that blue part. Let's see. Color. Clip Studio. File. Open. Fina Textures is now on my quick access. This one. Open. Control C, Control V. I always make an extra layer just in case I accidentally save over something. Effect. Normal map. Gentler. That works. File. Save as. Go to Fina Materials. Boots. And M. Where is it? There it is. Fix now. This one, I do think I wanted to make a bit harsher. Okay, and then I want to do back to this, hide this layer, Control C, Control V, and I'm gonna try to get only this section with blue. I'm curious if I could just like auto select that, or if I'm gonna need to do it the hard way. Oh, I can just auto select. Yeah. I wasn't sure if it would like single it out or not. This part's annoying. It doesn't matter if I get the blank space in between it, because the color map won't add to the alpha, which is like what makes things transparent. So even if I click on the blank space and it gets the normal map, it's not going to matter. Make sure everything is selected. Control C, Control V. Yep, that looks good. File, save as, boot, color, map. Yes. Cube map. Now, I actually like using a diamond cube map on the shoes oftentimes, or like a glisten. What to add? I want this to be diffused. I think we will use that. So what I'm going to do for the blue map instead, I'm going to do a custom gradient. We're still going to use that color map. Alpha is transparent. Come back to the boot. And I want just like blue. Like a blue place. This is going to be on a color. I'm going to switch it to alpha. And we want to definitely add to the add. So that way we get it to be a little shiny. Add to the multiply section too. Ever so slightly emissive. There we go. Now it's a blue detailing that sticks out. Now on the model that I was looking at, there's only this blue detail on one side. I think it was supposed to be the underneath sock. I decided to add it on both and just put it on the boot layer. And then just be just as confused as everyone else who might see that and wonder if it's a sock or not. Will it sock? The shoes also kind of look sock-like. And hopefully we fixed that. But once again, I will say this. One of the reasons why I can do this with my models, but a game studio might not be able to do it with their models, I don't have limitations such as there being other things in my world. I only have to render one character on screen, not like 17 bajillion. Uh, so I can do more fancy things with one model and not worry about like, oof, will this run on a phone? I have seen like other VTubers talk about limiting your polygon count, and I'm like, guys, guys, be for real. your computer can handle it. If it can handle running Wardo, it can probably handle a few more polygons. Do. Where's the top? There it is. Control C. This one is going to get a fairly complex map. We're going to start with a normal map. File, open. But this normal map will take some brain power. Because it won't be just a filter and done situation. Okay. Control C, Control V. Whoops, I'm on the wrong screen. Filter. Effect. Normal map. Let's hit OK. Okay, brain activate. So I believe light blue is going to go over in this top hand corner. So I'm going to take, which light blue for me is going to be this purple. And then I'm going to need the darker color to go down here. I'm gonna do that for each gem because luckily these gems are all orientated similarly, so the shine and the light faces can go in the same direction. Okay. Then sample this. I'm gonna take this slightly lighter. Ever so slightly. Ever so slightly. I'm even gonna blur that a little bit. Okay, this, I'm just gonna blur these out because this will probably look fine. Actually, this one I think I'm gonna use a different normal map for. Hide this layer. As long as this goes below, that little selection won't matter. You. Less brain power. And then I'm gonna take an eraser. Just take the soft eraser. Ooh, actually, I don't want to get rid of all that work. I just want to get rid of the center part. Those edges will be nice to have. Back of the neck doesn't matter as much, but we'll treat it like it does. I don't know. Just something about when I make a 3D model, if I know the back of the model's messed up, makes me upset. I know no one can see it, and I'm the only one who knows it's there. But like, even with this, you can't see this ponytail, but I want it to be back there. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not real. It was very real to me, okay? Let's see. That's mostly what this needs. I mean, I could also do... Hey, the blood! That must be Raz. I love how everyone has like their own like thing that they redeem when they come in. I appreciate it.
Late surprise.
Same. That must be their Raz with that Kool-Aid again. Okay, now I'm gonna take this.
Oh no. I just have so much Kool-Aid and no cups.
Same.
Whatever will I do?
What's happened here? That's not where that goes. Okay, so this is right. There we go. I was like, why isn't that not dragging where it's supposed to be? Go where you're supposed to be. Something here needs to be changed. Can you tell me what it is? There, and let me take an eraser. There we go. Now let's fix Lumpy Space Princess over here. Smooth. Like that episode of SpongeBob. Smooth. The shadow detailing is fine. I just didn't want a textured lump. There we go. File. Save as. Undershirt NM. Materials. Save. Back to Unity. Fix. And I'm gonna turn Fina to the light so I can start seeing the detail of the normal maps. In case you didn't know, normal maps are also code for shadow map. So I'm basically just telling light how to act when it hits the material. Which is why a cube map gets affected by it so much. Up next is the color map. They need those bright purple things to be selected. I can hide all this. Magic wand. Grab me all of the blue. Once again, it doesn't matter if I accidentally click the center of any of these because this is a color map, and so it's not going to add to the alpha. Hide, hide. Oh, I was like, why is it doing that? I wasn't selected on this. There we go. File, save as. CL map. Back to this. And back to this one. And back to you in the studio. Alpha is transparency. Cube map. Mega blue. Filter. Mask. Not red. We want it to be alpha. Fix. Emission strength. Yep. I'm gonna turn that down just a little bit. That's about as submissive that I want it to be. Okay. And now for this. Right now they're a bright blue, and I could set them to metal, but I could also set them to a custom normal map, which might be more effective. Well, custom matte cap. Because metal also makes things reflective, which isn't always a good thing, because I like to play with light, and when it's reflective, it means that whatever light I set the environment to, that reflective thing is likely going to change to that color. So if I use like an orange light, these might turn orange unless I do it this way. Okay, we can hide these. Select off. Okay. Oop. So what might be easier, we're gonna just do a new layer. Take off of this. And I'm just gonna draw something over top. And by something, I just mean I'm just gonna fill in these little spaces. I think I need to use the pen, not this, that. I'm assuming the paint bucket tool will have the same effect as what I was doing there. That's why I'm using a pen instead of using paint bucket. And I could change my selection wand like sets, but I decided to do this. Stream! It came back. After stream today, for the first time in a while, I'm going to turn off my computer and reset. Well, not reset, but update, because I have one of those pending. Now, if this isn't fully exact, that's fine, because, like, it reads based off a pixel thing, so, like, it's not always 100%, like, in the space. Now, hide. Just gonna fill these in. There we go. File. Save as. BMNM. Diamond normal map. Yes. Back to Fina in the studio. Alpha is transparent. Back to the top. And now back to the future. Let's DMNM. Gradient. Fix now. This. Let's use this one. And just see how that looks. It's on red. We need to switch it to alpha. Oh, it's on the wrong thing. But what I can do, copy. Paste. There we go. And they're not going to be that bright. There we go. All good. One more thing I need to do, and that is all right here. Let's do... Wait, why did I unselect that? It still needs to be selected. Uh, Go back to this. One of these is why I also want to do this one, is this one has the most layers of, like, things. Okay. I'm gonna merge select in. And then I'm gonna refill this while I clicked on this layer. And take an eraser. Just wanna go, boop. If I don't have to create two normal maps, I won't. If I don't have to create another, like, color map from scratch, I will not do that, especially for this. File, save as. Do, do, do. Yeah, this one definitely has a fair share of, like, maps. But so, it's so I didn't have to do these on different layers, and I could still have their different fabric details. This one, fix now. Gradient. And let's do this. Fix now. Set to alpha. Okay. And now here for the base gradient. I need to go back to this. And so I want this one revealed, I want this one revealed, and I want this one revealed. File, save as, ultimate color map, just as a name. Go back to this. Alpha is transparent. Apply. And technically I could color code this, but sometimes it does not read the colors how I want them to be read. And so instead, I just find it's more effective to do it this way. And you might be like, wait, didn't you just put that on all of the things? And you would be right. This would be on all of the things. Except invert. Now it's on the fabric. I don't want it to be that visible. I just like this for adding some, like, detailing to the fabric. So that way, like, the gems don't, like, stand out as, like, oh, that's the only shiny thing. It makes the outfit look like it belongs together. and not that any one piece was just like thrown on. I think that makes the bulk of what I want to do with the center piece, and that part is done. Only thing I could have done is like a clear coat, but I don't think I will do that. I think these boots are also done. Now let's go to this, because this is going to be another thing that's fairly easy and straightforward. Normal map. Two and two. Intensity turned up. See, it might just be 2 and 1. Matte cap, gradient. Fix now. I don't mind these looking like separate pieces. I just want this to have a similar color story. In order to help that, I'm gonna take those off and just make sure it's all only the colors found up top. Fix now. It's weird that that took it so dark. I guess these are all the dark colors up there, so it's not that weird. I hate that this doesn't like live update correctly, because that looks like so Crayola right there, but it's not. I think I need to take none of the sections that are in complete shadow. It's still going so dark. Uh, Did this look better without this? A little bit? I wanna maybe rotate this. This might not look right. There's a lot of the ways I do this. Let's mix the base strength, reduce this. Increase the add. Yeah, it's so weird how I color sampled all of this from that color, but it turned out so dark. I could try color sampling from this, because this is without any light effect on. Fix now. Fully replace. Turn this down. Turn intensity down. Yeah, when I mix it with the base, it gets even darker. Yeah, I think it actually might look better without doing that at all. Yeah, I think we're not going to add anything to that. Because I think this looks better than what it was looking like. I could see maybe adjusting it from here. But yeah, I think that's just what that's going to look like right now. When we export and look at it in another program, we'll see if there's anything abhorrent about it, but I don't think there will be. Okay, with this one, we did that normal map. I think jacket-wise, a lot of that's fine. Oh, this ball thing, that's what needs the... I thought this had the cube map on it. It does, okay. Back to Clip Studio. Zoom out. Select all of the ball on both sides. Control C, Control V. File, save as metal ball. Save. Yes. Now this one I might actually use the metal effect on, because I do believe it is supposed to be metal. Gradient, fix, switch this to alpha. I was gonna say, I don't see it, and that should have definitely changed something. Yep, and that's kind of just what I wanted to do with it. Okay. And now I need to combine these two maps. File, save as balls. Sure. Why not? Alpha is transparent. Apply. Go to this section. This does end up adding a little bit of work to do it this way instead of having them all just be separate pieces. But you get so much like efficiency from doing it. Like my models load in half the time now. And I'm pretty sure that's worth it. Okay, I believe I use this for fabric. Ah, invert. Okay. Just want that to kind of be like a sheen that adds a little bit more realism to the top layer of things.
Your code looks plushy and I want it.
Same.
Gimme.
That is the goal. This is also practice for me making like that kind of material. And I think I'm doing a great job at it. It's supposed to look very, at least that's the impression I got from this. That it's like a very plushy jacket. It's the vibe it gave, and it's the vibe we went with. I think that's good on the outfit for the most part. I'll go ahead and lock these in. If we notice something we want to change, we can always come back to it. If we don't change anything by the time we get to the next model, it's going to stay how it is. But we'll probably notice something by then because we'll do a test stream fully with just this model as we prep for Duet Night, a Night of the Abyss. I'm always worried that I hype up a game and then it doesn't do as much as I want it to. But I will say the bar for it for me is very low, and I've already played it once, so I know that it's an enjoyable gameplay for me. I doubt that it got worse. I also just have faith in the studio to make things better if something is bad with it. Oh my god, fix. Serious face. Okay, let's go down to matte cap, gradient. Use this as the mask. Set this instead of red to alpha. I want a very light blue. Why is this not visible? It's because it's on the body. I was clicked on face. That makes sense why that looked weird. Click this off. To the face. I guess one of the times when I clicked on that, I just accidentally clicked off of it. Matte cap. I think I might have done that a few times. Well, I know I have, but like, I wonder if there's anything that I forgot to readjust. We still want the light blue. Set the emission. Mix with base color. Place the shading a little bit. You just want a little bit of a shine. So I would like to move this. So we're trying to just have it be a gloss. Which then also means I take this and I go like doop. I take this one, I go boop. So that way it shines through it. Fix now. Because if you want it to be a gloss, you need to make the center part or the out part transparent. So that way it is a shine and not just constantly there. Okay, body's back to body. So sometimes I add a gloss to the characters. This character's in the winter, so I don't think their skin would be that glossy because it would dry you out. And I don't feel like it would be really that matchy with what I have going on here for the exterior. So I don't think we'll add a gloss to this one. So that would make this one done. I did debate adding an outline like what I did for Alice, but it is a debate because I'm not 100% sold on it. It'd be something like this, but not at a 1, like a 6. Fixed distance, 0. Vertex correction. There we go. It'd be kind of like this. Yeah, that helps the jacket. So I will lock that in. So let's go back to the body and see if that outline would also help the body out. I'm gonna do 0.4. Fixed distance is 0. It's kind of like it to be merged with the body. I'm not still sold on the skirt. On the bright side, you won't really ever see the skirt. I do want to make them an animal companion, though. That requires me to get into Blender. do. That's good, that's good. I'm gonna go to the boots, unlock, and add the outline to the boots. For black. Also, because I use a black background, you don't really see the outline too frequently. I used to do this all the time for models. I stopped doing it for a bit because it wasn't matching what I was doing because it's showing so much skin. But if I'm not showing as much skin, it actually works a bit better. It's also doing a good job at separating this top layer from the bottom layer. Helping create separation between the outfit pieces. Okay. This can lock in. Where's my hair? Two, two, lock in. Okay. Hair game. Let's do, pull this up. Blue hair swatch. Do 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 do. Save image. Save. I love the sentence natural splat or natural splat hair dye. There's nothing natural about splat. I did used to dye my hair with it, and yes, it is terrible for your hair. But their hair swatches are really nice. So as a 3D person, I like the fact that they have nice hair swatches. Okay, Clip Studio, File, Open, Desktop. I think this one's gonna make the best normal map. I have a normal map already I use for hair, but I kind of want to test this one out. I'm just curious to see what this would look like. We're gonna say test and M. Do. Oh, did this not save as the right file type? It is properties. Yeah, that's a web file. I need to save it as a PNG or JPEG. Either one works. File, save as, not web. We want PNG. I also do use regularly my Clip Studio for file conversion. I'll upload a picture that's like in the web format and put it in Clip Studio and save it as a different file like it just did there. We can delete this. Okay. I would like to take the front hair first. So this is the one I normally use. I fairly like it. This is one that is of a scan. Fix now. It has merits, but I don't love it. What's this? Oh, I think that's the skin. That's the one I use for gloss skin. This one's definitely better. But I kind of want to make it softer for Fina. So there's two ways that I can do that. I can either do that here, but I kind of want it to still have a higher effect because I want to use some mattes on it. So that calls for Clip Studio. File, open. Let us go to this. Very nice. Control C, Control V. I'm gonna take my fingertip tool. So what I'm doing with my fingertip tool is I'm trying to basically like smooth out the sections so there's less focus on the individual hairs. But it keeps that same nice form that I like that this has. Oop. gonna have to zoom out because of the way I'm using the pen. Then I'm gonna take this blur tool. File, save as, blur. Typing with one arm that's like far away from the keyboard. Blur hair. Fix now. So this is before and after. Before, after. Two and two. Seemed kind of equivocal to me. It's possible what I need to do uh, is to just kind of take a regular brush. So I need the swatches from this. So let me just color sample. Funny enough, this is how I do tree identification AI. You kind of just like take a color sample thing, you grab a bunch of it, color code it, and then tell the AI what color coded thing means what. This is not generative AI. This is think of it more like not statistical AI in the sense of like what generative is, but statistical as in like it's going through all of the numbers. In other words, it can be run off of a computer, not a super server farm. It takes up way less water. Let's see. I wish that I could say that I'm not the jealous type. Do 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 do. And I wish you the best. Do 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 do. But if I'm being honest, I wish I had your life. Yeah. Bigger. Okay. Like this. Opacity. Turn that down. These. bright pink. And then let's grab this color because we haven't done this color yet. This is how I made my first hair swatches as a side note. Was I just took the colors that work for my normal map and just like went to town with like just a regular brush. It's fairly effective. There's just so many colors. Okay, another new section. And so I want to take the brightest color, this, and I'm just gonna go floop, 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 floop. And then I want to take the darkest color, which is this, and go floop, 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 floop. And then I'm gonna take this and go floop, 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 floop. All of which are, these are very technical art terms. You may not get them. When you're self-taught, that is your art terms. I mean, self-taught to an extreme. Guides would definitely help me progress faster. But I also do kind of like the fuck around and find out method for this specifically. Then I want to take a blur tool. And we're going to very lightly, we're not fully pressing on the page. Just very lightly going over it. And then we're going to affect this. File. Save as. If I put a number after it, I'm going to know it came after the first one. Where are you? Wait, did it just save as blue? No, it saved as blue hair 3. There it is. Fix now. I need this to only have 1 on the Y. Because otherwise the highlight I put in it won't work. I actually think I like that. I say actually because I just kind of randomly just bloop bloop blooped all over the page and it turned out decent. So I guess we're going to keep our bloops. I haven't remade my hair map in I think 4 months. So it would make sense that it would work out because it had pretty much only up to go. Yeah, that worked out really well. Now, the other hair map kind of looks ugly on the ponytail, so I'll be super happy if this one does better there. Still looks a little bit like taffy. It can be better, but that's fine. It looks better from this side than the other side, so maybe if I do 4. Maybe that's just because that part's in shadow. Okay, in this next part, I can do this. Select all of them. Go matte cap. Oh, that actually looks really neat, this white hair. So yeah, I like the normal map I made just now. Gradient. Gradients look so cool when you have an aggressive normal map. Lower the normal strength just a bit. Lower the replacement. Increase intensity. I do think I want to make it slightly emissive. Just to give it a little bit more fantastical vibes. Because even if I don't have it as replaced, when I make it emissive, it automatically will add some to it. Make it emissive and multiply. They feel contradictory, but apparently it works. I think we'll call that good for the hair. We'll call it good, but it's terrible. So I need to take this section, copy, paste, and go down here, grab the new normal map I made for the hair. We are going to do 4 and 5, as we've done with most normal maps. Turn up the intensity, go down here, turn the emissiveness off, because it shouldn't be emissive down there. Base color. Nope. Yep, that works. I have to zoom out sometimes so I can see it from a distance. I think now it's just the eye, which the eye should not be too bad. This I already did. I don't think I'm gonna do anything super fancy with it. I think it's fine how it is. If I remember correctly, yeah, that's what I want. I turned this one off so that way when you blink and close your eyes, even if you do have some clipping issues down here, they go away because this goes away. At least in theory. the jury's still out on it because I forget to really investigate it that much. I did debate adding some peach like gleam to the cheeks, but I think we'll be fine with how we are right now. Okay, so for the eyes, I'm gonna go to emissive, click this, I'm gonna turn it on fluorescent, so they glow in the dark. So when I turn out the lights, they're still very visible. This character also has a lot of innocence to them, so we're gonna do a gleam in the eye. Switch this instead of replace to add. So now we have a little bit of a sparkle there. I did custom make this eye to kind of replicate how they did it, but like in my own way. Because like their eyes like this, so I did mine very similar. I copied their homework, but I did end up changing it a little bit, which is like pretty much my status quo here for the like mixed design models. I mixed their design with mine. I want to fix this. I feel like there's something that I could make better about it, but I just don't know how or slash what. It might come to me later, and as long as this is the last model I worked on, it's very easy for me to fix it. If it's not the last model I work on, then it becomes harder to come back to it the further away I move from it, because I do reuse assets, but I take them out of the folder that they previously were in most of the times to save storage space. I don't always remember like if a model is supposed to keep theirs or not. Lock in. Okay, this one, special emission, space color. Oh, wait, did I remember to do that? I did not unlock. Use space color. That's better. Lock in. Now for this eye highlight. It's weird that it picks that as the emission mask. C, B. That's better. That's what I want. Cube map, same glint. Add. And lock in. There we go. Is the body locked in? Go through the assets, make sure they're all locked. We did already do the physics. But let's go ahead and do a play and make sure we like how the physics work. That's very important. I wish that I could say that I'm do. Fina. Let's make this screen bigger. Okay. Don't need the rotate tool, I need this one. That should work good. Bring this back up. Wardo. New mod. Fina. But because that's the ponytail, poison Fina. Create mod. Okay, grab Fina. Wardo. Set up character. Poison Fina. Set up. Poison Aquafina. I do kind of look like I look like Fina, but from the future with that outfit. Like, definitely aged up. Jello hat, Jello hat. My witch power is Jello hat. Wanna play mermaids? My witch power is Jello hat. What do you mean by Jello hat? Takes a Jello cup and just puts it on your head. Jello hat. uh, hashtag OP. We about to test the model. Yeah. I think I should go ahead and start pulling up Wordo. Note, I am pulling up Wordo. My redeems will be broken for a moment. Or probably rest of stream because it's 2 hours and 30 minutes. We did take our time on this. Compiling shaders. Compiling shader variants. Compiling shader variants. This model doesn't actually have that many materials to them, so they should export faster than like the other ones did. Like the Halloween ones. Because a lot of the outfit is consolidated into the like 3 sections. There's a lot of variants. We'll probably have time to have Fina up here, and then move them over to the stream computer and see what they look like for just a little bit. But then after that, we'll probably be at our time. But I've had so much fun with you guys. Thank you all for showing up. It is a Tuesday, so I appreciate the time we spend together. So this is love. Oh. So this is da, 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 da. The model is done. Do 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 do. Um, pull them to the character folder. It's gonna want me to like sign into Wordo, but I don't want to. I think the model that should pull up is the I'm thinking my most recent one, which would be the Rebecca one. I can only hold one name in my head at a time, and right now it's Fina. Oh no, it's Alice. I forgot about Alice for just a moment. The model I made yesterday. Listen, I made this one really, really fast. The amount of time I spent in Unity on Fina just now is the amount of time it took me to finish this model. Like 2 hours, basically. I don't feel like signing in, so I'm not gonna. Plus, I don't need it to have connection. Character 5. Poison. Do. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I found Fina. Yay. And so I stopped. You're doing great, Fina. Okay, let's go ahead and set it to walk. Because that's the first thing we look at with a lot of models. I might want these to be a bit stiffer. This is moving a lot better than I thought it would down here.
Fina, what do you have
Same.
question mark on?
What do you mean? What? No. Fina doesn't have anything. I declare slander upon this stream. Oh wait, I know. Where is it? Where is my royal banner keepers? Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna set them to like a solid pose, and then I'm gonna see if the face tracking is working. Oh god, Fina, don't do that with the knife. I'm gonna take the knife from Fina, actually. You're gonna hurt yourself. This is why they give you a book instead. One of my favorite times. Time to zoom in on both models so we can look at them both talk at the same time. This side. Wow. Can you believe it? I'm talking with two models. That's like more than I normally use. Well, at least at a time. Oh my god. Really? We have to wait like 7 more days? That's ridiculous. It could just release right now. Actually, I don't think I'll do anything with the wings because I want them to be able to bounce when I have like this. I also have no idea why sometimes the tongue takes to the model and sometimes it doesn't. I don't change anything.
Fang gang.
Of course. We've just been doing the vampire fangs on everything, and I just kind of like the detail it adds. Also, if I remember correctly, Fina is part of the Beastkin people, and also, I think I need to fix that, which I can. I can fix that real fast.
With heterophobia.
I know, I think she has two blue eyes, doesn't she? Yeah, she has two blue eyes. I've just kind of accepted that I just like how fangs look. Ow. My eyebrow tracking on my laptop is set super sensitive because by default it's set super sensitive. Okay, I think I'm gonna go ahead and fix this right here. Yeah, so that's on the arm, under part of arm. Do, do, do. Need to go up to here, click Fina. Nyeh, 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 nyeh. Yeah, so you won't be able to see that part from here. So what I need to do is then go to Clip Studio, File, Open. We want to go to Textures, Open. So we can just basically take this section and erase it. I'm going to Control C, Control V just in case. Hide the lower part. Erase. Gonna do that on both sides. Okay. File, save. Yes. Go back to Unity. Unity's gonna update. Unlock. Lock in. You had to repaint the object. Looks like I don't have a problem with seeing inside the jacket. I'm pretty sure that was the elbow, right? Yeah, that's the shoulder that's popping through. Okay, I need to take Mina. I just want to check one more time, make sure that's not super visible. It just clipped off the arm there. Now we go to Wordo. Well, first I'm going to do this. Enter, exit, Wordo, switch to active mode. Build that mod. Honestly, I probably could have been this big the entire stream. I'm not really blocking off any vital information over here other than like the file folder, which is messy and you shouldn't learn from that anyways. Yellow hat. This is what you should learn. If you learn one thing from me. Typically, the second export, especially if I only changed one thing, doesn't take long. Because it's already serialized the other assets. Yeah, it's already on build manifesting. I just had to repaint that section. Okay, it was successful. Okay, there's the clipping issue. Poison Fina. Replace. Change over. Got less, but it's still an issue. Let's see the texture. Okay. Clip Studio. This time I'm going to go to Unity and unlock the map first. So that way it doesn't have that like load that it had to do. File, save. You might start to be able to see this a little bit on the model, just a tad. Only from like a very specific angle, it looks like. And if you didn't know that was erased, I don't know if you would notice. Lock in. But I think this is way more noticeable. This skin coming through the jacket. Sometimes I watch other VTuber stuff and I'm like, my mats may be ugly, but my clipping is immaculate. Like in comparison. I mean, my mats aren't that ugly. I'm kind of starting to nail my art style. This witch's hair is a bit messy, but it also was intended to be a bit messy. I also knew I was going to put a hat on. Ordo, switch to active mode. Build that mod. I think it'll go even faster this time. Do, 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 do. Saving assets. Recompiling build. Build. Fixing that one shader. Build manifesting. Adding the can be deleted files. Which I guess I could delete. I just don't know where they are. Trust me, if I knew where those can be deleted files were, they would be gone. But I don't. So they never get deleted. They're there until I find them. Just because if it can be deleted, it might just be causing extra bloat for no reason. Maybe my model would load 0.5 seconds faster. Replace. I mean, it does, for some reason, take an entire section of the export. Okay. Should be updating. Oh, the clipping is gone. I have an entire skin mask underneath it. You can't really see much of the body from that angle. Honestly, because it doesn't have a body here. I erased it. As you can see from the evidence here. There we go. Good job, Fina. Okay, let's have them move. Something's a little bit jumpy there. But I'm wondering if it's not the model and more just the computer because it has so many things open. And I'm gonna guess that's what it is. Okay, that looks fine. Do, 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 do. Okay. Well, I am going to say we are going to wrap up the stream here on the YouTube side. If you're on YouTube, it's because I'm going to play copyrighted music and I don't want to get removed from my channel forever. So if you want to go to Twitch so you can hear us test this model to music, it's Poison Oaks Twitch TV. I can link it in the chat. I wish that they weren't such a stickler and they would just mute the portion of the video for YouTube like Twitch does, but sadly they don't do that. But we're gonna play some music and have this model like move around so we can just kind of see the physics and everything. So thank you guys so much for joining me on YouTube. This VOD will be up if you want to go back and reference it, want to figure out how I did something, want to use it to reference for your own model, feel free to. And if you have any questions, always feel free to come by when I'm live or just message me on or tweet at me or Bluesky me. All my links are in my bio. But yeah, thank you guys so much for stopping by. See you next time on YouTube. We're still going to be here on Twitch for just a few more minutes.